Introducing PeacefulTalks.com with Darcy Thompson and Jeff Aresty. That is your topic for today. Welcome to the Lawyers and Mediators International Show and Podcast, where we discuss law and conflict resolution topics to educate both professionals and everyday people. Catch regular episodes on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. Just remember, nothing in these episodes constitutes legal advice, so be sure to talk to a lawyer, as cases are fact dependent. Hey everyone, this is attorney Mac Pierre-Louis. I'm a lawyer, mediator, arbitrator. I work throughout Florida and Texas. And today I have two special guests, two colleagues of mine who are both mediators, who are going to be talking to us about a company that they have founded together called PeacefulTalks.com. And welcome to Darcy Thompson and Jeff Aresty. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, Mac.
Hey, doing, Mac.
Hey, Darcy and Jeff. So you both have been on the podcast before over the last few years. And so today we're introducing the world to a new idea that you guys have started together, a new project called PeacefulTalks.com. And let's get right into it. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you're listening to this podcast, be sure to check out the YouTube video so you can check out the videos, images, but you can also go to the website directly. So my screen share will show your website. And so let's talk about this. And but before we talk about it, let's talk about you guys and who you are. So first off, remind folks a little bit about your background. Why don't we start with you, Darcy?
Okay, so I'm a retired teacher and special education evaluator. I started mediating in 2012, and I have mediated hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases. I have been complimented and credited with keeping the mediation setting calm and being very patient. Um, Most of my mediations have been either civil or community, some business disputes, school ones, and faith-based disputes.
Got it. And how about you, Jeff?
I've been a business attorney and real estate attorney for over 45 years. I run a nonprofit that focuses on peace building and access to opportunity for almost 2 decades. But principally, I've focused on how do you keep business deals together? How do you keep real estate deals from falling apart? And I've been trained as a mediator. And this has just been my life, is pretty much how do we keep relationships sound and effective so that people can move forward with what they want to accomplish in their lives.
Yes, and for as long as I've known you guys have always had a passion for helping build bridges and helping make peace. And so in your own relationship, it seems like a very peaceful one. How do you guys even meet? What's your background on working together?
So, do you want me to go first, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
You know what I mean?
initially we met while networking, going to different mediator, alternative dispute resolution, ADR events, and we realized we had a lot of similar interests and shared mediator goals. And so before Jeff and his wife Ellen moved to Waco, we actually shared office space and collaborated on several projects. And over the years, we've continued to collaborate and work on mediation and peacemaking efforts. Jeff, you might have some other comments you want to share there.
As Darcy said, we started our connection at various mediator events in Houston, Texas. When my wife and I moved to Texas, I was looking to join various groups, and the Association for Conflict Resolution in Houston was the one that I got very active with when I met the longstanding leader of that group, Barbara Manuso. And in the course of becoming a board member, Darcy and I met and we just started talking. We realized that we bring different skill sets to the table, that when you match them together, it works really well. We can see in the distance what is out there that can become obstacles to overcome. And yet, when you're going from here to there are a lot of details that you need to be paying attention to, or you're going to have some challenges. So together we are able to navigate both. And that's
Yes.
how we build a business together.
Yes, that sounds great. I guess that's one other thing we all have in common together, and that is Association for Conflict Resolution Houston chapter. I forgot, Jeff, that you actually were a board member back in the day. I wasn't a member, at that time, and so now I am. But it's good to know that we all have that in common. All right, so guys, let's segue into the actual business, and I have on my website Peaceful Talks with Thompson Mediations. Thompson Mediations, of course, is your brand, Darcy. And Jeff has partnered up with you now for Peaceful Talks. And so let's talk it out and settle your dispute. So, folks who want to learn more about this website should go over to it. But tell us, what is Peaceful Talks?
So I'll start.
Yeah.
When people work together, do business, or in relationships, um, and the communication breaks down, Peaceful Talks helps them to get the communication back on track so they can find a resolution they can live with. We help people using peaceful words and tones rather than arguing or screaming or using verbal or physical violence to settle their issues. Jeff?
That's really the underpinning foundation of what we do together. As Darcy has been saying that she has been mediating hundreds and hundreds of disputes over the course of time. A question I asked her is, generally speaking, how many of these settle in a morning or an afternoon, just a few hours? And she said, well, the majority, a significant majority of them, because what ends up happening is that you get to the point where you realize that the relationship is more important than fighting about what it is that you're fighting about. And when you have a couple of people who are really your guardrails and helping you get to yes, it doesn't take long before you realize that you want something to keep, and that's your relationship. And whatever the dispute was, you can get to the answer to solving it together just by talking it out. And that's what happens in mediation. The folks themselves work out the relationship, and we're just there making sure that it's peaceful as we get from no to yes.
Yes. And
And
go ahead, Darcy.
and also, for those people who are not going to have a long-term relationship, just the headache of being in conflict, of going back and forth, of writing the business and trying to get your money back and trying to do this or trying to do that can go on and on. Whereas if you have a mediation, if you get with a peaceful talk and get it resolved, then you can move forward and have a more peaceful, I call it getting your smile back, relieving that stress. And so most of our cases will be civil, business, or breach of contract. We do landlord, tenant, and education. Um, we do neighbors, nonprofit organizations, or homeowner association, HOA disputes.
I see. And I take it a lot of the idea behind Peaceful Talks also deals with, just the sheer emotion that is oftentimes involved in mediation or in conflict resolution, generally speaking. So I guess that is what motivates you guys, right, to want to do this. And because I'm curious about the name Peaceful Talks and why you guys selected that name. Could you care to discuss that? Any of you?
So I'm going to let Jeff
Well,
share.
I've been involved in peace building efforts for many, many years. It's clear to me as a lawyer that the nature of law really is underpinned by the philosophy of how humans interact with each other. And when you're trying to set a governing framework, You either have a culture of peace where communications matter and peace matters, or you have a advocacy environment where people are taking positions. And once you get into positioning one against the other, um, you're moving away from the underpinning core of peaceful relationships. So when the word peace is front and center, that motivates people to act in a way in which their cultures and their faiths have taught them from the ground up. So we want to remind people from the beginning that that's the point. Uh, you can always advocate, but if you're advocating, it better be for a reason. And if you really want to get to the nub of resolving what the issue is, you really just have to start by thinking, well, we need to be working together peacefully. So peace has always been an underpinning of what I've done in my work. And so when Darcy and I started talking about this, we realized that peaceful communications is really the key point here. Because you can think about peace, but if you communicate using the wrong words or the wrong disposition, then it begins to fall apart.
Got it. Got it.
And
And let me share my screen again. So I'm excited that you guys have, chosen to do all of this, the whole Peaceful Talks project in conjunction with instantmediators.com. And so, for those who may not know, Instant Mediators is a platform that has a whole lot of mediators who have joined to help people mediate in a week. That's the motto. And if you have a dispute that you're going through, and oftentimes the most difficult part is actually getting people to the table and getting people to sit down and talk peacefully. And so we got together a whole bunch of mediators around the world. And one of them, of course, is you. And so if people were to head over to instantmediators.com, they can check out your profile. And once they click on your profile, they'll see your beautiful faces, and it'll take them to your website direct. And so tell me, what are your plans for your brand, Peaceful Talks, and your business? What are your plans as they, work in conjunction with Instant Mediators' goal of helping people mediate in a week?
do you want me to start, Jeff?
Absolutely.
So if you go back down to our profile in the
Yeah.
directory, Mac,
Yes.
on Instant
Oh,
Mediators,
yes. So let me go back to the directory and the list, and there's your profile
so
right
when you
here.
click on that,
Yep.
you can actually go on there and it says book mediation. If you click, if you're ready, you can go to our website, but you can also just click book mediation, and then it's an easy 3-step process.
Yep.
You and the other side agree upon a date. If you click 1:00 p.m.
Hmm.
on the 25th, then the form comes up to put in your details. After you finish your details, then you'll get a booking confirmation, and you'll wait for either Jeff or I to contact you. It's just that quick.
Yep. Exactly. Well, I love it. This is always the point or the goal of Instant Mediators, right? Having you basically on standby, and you're giving people times and availability so that they can help get themselves to the table with their opponent as soon as possible and get the problem resolved. So there's no waiting, there's no weeks and months of stress, right? They can get and start having a conversation with you guys. That sounds awesome. Okay, Jeff, you have anything to add on that?
Well, that's the point of what you've done here by giving the power to the two parties to immediately select a date. They know that sometime in the next few days, they're going to be in a position to resolve whatever the issue is. So we've empowered them just simply by clicking on a calendar and selecting a date. They know in 3 or 4 days, or 2 or 3 days, and a couple hours of time that they put into this, they're going to be moving on with their lives. Whatever the dispute is that they had, they're going to feel that they can get it done. So it's very different from having the whole idea of, well, now I have to find a mediator. I have to find an attorney. I have to, possibly end up in court. And now I have to go through a whole set of third-party mechanisms where the ability to resolve the issue is out of my hands. And it's now in the hands of others that are costing me time and money and energy. Whereas here, we basically, with you taking the issue and put it into their hands to resolve in short order for little money, and they can move on. So that's an underlying empowerment that really gives them the ability to take control and feel comfortable that they're going to get to the other side of their issue quickly.
And there's one other place. If you go back to our website,
Yeah.
if you decide to go to the website first, you can go down to where it says schedule mediation. Click on that. Schedule mediation. Click on that. It brings you right back to that calendar. Boom, boom, boom. Easy, easy. 1, 2, 3.
Great.
Follow the process. So you can go to the calendar from instantmediators.com, or you can go from PeacefulTalks.com.
Yeah. So either way, and if people want to get, learn more about you, I do know you have on your page a little bit more information about yourself, and that's where people can learn more. Because one of the important things is any new party who has a conflict, who finds you first, because let's be honest, both parties might not find you at the same moment. That might be kind of weird, right? So usually one side of a conflict discovers, your profile online. They're interested and they want to share with the other side, their opponent, who you are, and invite them. Hey, you know what? These people look like they can help me and help both of us potentially resolve our dispute. So, what's the best way if somebody has a problem and they find you? What's the first thing they need to do to help get to the table as soon as possible and settle their dispute, or try to settle the dispute as quick as possible?
Jeff?
Well, the calendar, obviously, you can get there one of two ways. Either if they've found us through instantmediators.com, they can decide right then and there to go to the calendar and pick a date and time. Or if they want to learn more about who we are and why we are operating in a co-mediation environment, they might click on the Peaceful Talks website, where they can find additional information about us. What is the co-mediation process as opposed to a single mediator?
Mm-hmm.
And they can select the calendar then and come and pick a date and move forward.
And Darcy, you have anything to add to what the first things people need to do?
No, I think that says it all. Instantmediators.com or peacefultalk.com. We're here. We're ready to help you have a peaceful talk.
And how can people get in touch with you other than the calendar if they just want to reach out and ask some questions? Because there may be questions that we haven't answered.
So they can email us directly,
Okay.
either at thompsonsmediation@gmail.com, and that is on the instant mediator link.
Yes. Okay. So, yep, your email's here as well. And then, of course, they can go directly to your website and just click contact us as well. So, a lot of good information, but the goal is to help people resolve their disputes, right? People live in conflict. Our world has conflict all over the place, and relationships are in turmoil. And whether it's a business dispute or neighbor, husband or wife, you guys are there and available, and you guys have made yourself available so that people don't have to live in chaos for weeks and months, because that's the goal of instant mediators. So personally, thank you so much for, you know, working in conjunction with instant mediators so that we can get the word out to get people on board with this new idea of mediating a week. You don't have to live with the stress of conflict in your lives for far too long. So, guys, go ahead and close us out. Is there anything else that you want people to remember or know from our talk today?
So yes, we're raring to go. That's our mediation gives me life, helping people, and Jeff and I are ready and willing to help you have a peaceful talk. And Mac, I really want to thank you for bringing instant mediators to the forefront and really providing the service. I think a lot of people really want to get this over with quickly, and you have brought us together to do that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would only add that one of the opportunities that we saw, Darcy and I saw together, was in the ability to work together. When you have two mediators who are committed to work as one to resolve issues, in a sense, by helping you communicate with each other better, we bring different perspectives to the table. But we've worked together for years and years. And so we see things from different perspectives, but we have the same end goal in mind. And so that process of having two of us in the room for the price of one is what we think is a special value added to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Our
for
mediation
mediators.
services.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people may not realize that the benefit of that. I mean, imagine you have two individuals from different walks of life, different experiences, male, female. There's lots of perspectives that can get lost without the benefit of both. So certainly co-mediation is one of the best ways to go. All right, guys. So that's it for this talk. Our 20 minutes is up. Thank you so much, Darcy Thompson and Jeff Aresty, for coming on the show today to discuss PeacefulTalks.com. Check it out, folks, and learn more. And of course, come back to lmipodcast.com or the YouTube channel and subscribe to stay in touch. All right. Until next time, everybody, take care.
Thank you.